and Jack Nestor. Students will be notified next week once the grades have been finalized. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Kruger. I am the Spiritual Development Coordinator at Notre Dame. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the graduates this year for their help over the year with Sunday Mass, Wednesday Gospel Reflections, Thursday Works of Mercy visits, and our volunteer swim program. It is my pleasure to introduce the Sisters of Charity of St. Louis Liturgical Recognition Award. This award is presented annually to the Notre Dame students, preferably seniors, who have contributed to the school's masses and liturgies with generosity, love, consistency, and joyfulness. The Sisters of Charity of St. Louis arrived in Wilcox in 1920 and served Notre Dame until 2011, primarily as educators. The sisters were greatly involved in the liturgical life of the parish and the college. Our two most recent sisters, Sister Clem Liberon and Sister Vicky Hagel, contributed to the liturgical life through their roles as sacristan, catechist, and musician. Their joy for life and their love for the hounds and the elementary age kids was evident every day. It brought them great joy when the hounds served, read, sang, or did other acts of service at the Mass. This award not only recognizes the students who excel at assisting in our liturgies, but it also honors the sisters and the examples that they set. This year, 2 students will be recognized for this award. Both students were enthusiastic to help out at Mass on Sundays and at other special Masses. Our female winner was the most frequent helper with children's liturgy. Our male winner helped as an usher and as a Eucharistic minister. Please help me congratulate this year's winners of the Sisters of Charity of St. Louis Liturgical Recognition Award, Tressie Ireland and Joseph Eplin. We now move on to the Mother Teresa Award. On behalf of Jens Johnson, the faculty member who coordinates Notre Dame's Hounds for Humanity program, it is my honor to introduce the Mother Teresa Award. Notre Dame has an amazing culture of works of mercy. Our students are always willing and eager to pitch in or lend a hand when a need arises. Every year, Notre Dame honors one of its graduating students for their outstanding efforts in Christian service. This student receives a print of a portrait of Mother Teresa painted by Notre Dame's former art teacher, Julie Rudrick. The student also has their name inscribed on a shield that is attached to the carving, Christ in the Breadline. This carving was created by Notre Dame legend, Frank Germain. This student exemplifies the characteristics of the Notre Dame man and woman. The student selected is a student who has been very active in campus volunteer activities, such as our Works of Mercy program, our student swim program, our Hounds for Humanity program, and also they frequently volunteer at our school liturgies. The winner of the Mother Teresa Award is difficult to give to one person. We had a great group of students this year, all deserving of the award. Many hours were spent meeting, coming up with new ideas, planning events, and then putting them into action. A special thank you to all those students who were involved in our Dress Down Fridays, Christmas messages, Movember campaign, staff student hockey game fundraiser, and our foster child campaign. The grade 12 nominees for the Mother Teresa Award are Jack Nestor, Sadie Turningrobe, Brett Elmy, Andrew Buffalo, and Jada Livingston. And the winner of the Mother Teresa Award for 2020 is Sadie Turningrobe.
Congratulations, graduates. I'm Kathy Yanko, the Director of Student Life. I'll first present the SRC Award. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our student activity coordinators for this year, Jules and Jace. The time we had with the Hounds was filled with fun and a variety of great events. Fill in our yearbook. For the last few years, we've been attending the Alberta Student Leadership Conference. 8 grade 11 students are literally thrown into school spirit and student leadership with hundreds of other enthusiastic and talented students. The 8 students from this class returned to campus at the top of their game. They immediately shared a presentation of their experience with their class. They started off the school year with amazing pride and school spirit. The excitement carried on through red and whites, dances, rodeo day, and winter carnival. We all know it takes a village to raise a child, but we had one student who yelled a little louder, stopped in my office daily to plan the next event, and followed through with planning everything he was asked to do. I'd like to present the SRC Award to Noah Klein. Now on to the Multimedia Award. I'm presenting on behalf of Janice Rumpel, our staff member. Congratulations to Maya Dupro as the recipient of the Multimedia Award. She developed the grad section of the yearbook and created an outstanding section for all the graduates. She has given everyone the chance to share and keep very precious moments from 2019 and 2020. Because of COVID, she had to work remotely on her own and has done an outstanding job. Once again, huge congratulations to you, Maya. I now have the honor of presenting the House Leader of the Year Awards. A special thanks to our house parents and house leaders for an outstanding year throughout our campus. Deciding on the recipients for this award was no easy task. At Notre Dame, we strive to produce hounds that empower, enlighten, and emerge. Their level of commitment to their position, passion for Notre Dame, and support they showed for their peers awed us every day. We love the opportunity of working alongside the house leaders. I was trying to pull one line from Pear's Notre Dame Man and Woman, but I couldn't list one without listing all the others. What a tribute. In Mother Teresa Hall, we were blessed with amazing leaders. It's been a privilege to watch this one young woman grow over her years at Notre Dame. She supported her peers. If anyone appeared to be a little down, she checked on them. If someone was struggling, she was there for them. If they were struggling with academics, she would tutor them. Whenever there was an issue, she was always quick with, "I got this." Though it was normally shortly followed by, "What am I getting?" Though it was normally just something she volunteered for before having all the information. It didn't matter what the challenge was, she was up for it. Her house parent, Teresa, cannot tell you how many times a week she was asked by a student for permission to ask this house leader just one quick question after lights out. It quickly became clear all that these questions were because this was the student who had all the answers. This was the student they trusted, and this was the student who didn't have to question what was right. She instinctively knew. This young woman is a combination of all our Notre Dame values, and we cannot wait to see where life takes her beyond Notre Dame. With all that being said, please join me in congratulating our Female House Leader of the Year, Kendra Zahadsky. The Male House Leader of the Year Award was another tough decision, which requires a huge shout out to the male house leaders. It's a wonderful problem to have so many leaders step up above an already high crowd. We narrowed it down to 3. We'd send an honorary mention to Karsten Gorell and Trey Whitney. One leader left the biggest impression after our campus emptied. He avoided all the shenanigans, and when pressed, he dealt with his peers as any conscientious, mature, responsible person would. He would address them anywhere, the dressing room, the stands, or support after we left our campus. Through all this, he is highly respected by his peers. Please join me in congratulating our male House Leader of the Year, Brendan Kerr.
Congratulations, grads. We really miss you guys on campus. My name is Tracy Faith, and I'm the athletic coordinator here at Notre Dame. I'm here to present the Athletes of the Year for the male and females of the 2020 year. The Athlete of the Year represents a student who not only exhibits great athletic ability, but is also a leader who is committed to developing and improving their athletic potential. The female Athlete of the Year is an exceptional athlete. She was the assistant captain for our female AAA hockey team at Notre Dame, and she's also named the team's MVP this season. She was named to the Saskatchewan First Team All-Star team and was also awarded the Saskatchewan Female Hockey League's Top Defenseman of the Year. She played for Team Sask U18, but she also represented Team Canada at the IIHF U18 Women's World Championship. She has received a scholarship to play Division I in Dartmouth next year, Dartmouth College. So congratulations to this year's Female Athlete of the Year, Annie King. Congratulations, Annie. The Male Athlete of the Year is a top competitor in each sport that he plays. He was the captain of the football team and was also awarded their Top Offensive Award for last season. He played AAA hockey with the Argos and has been an integral part of the Notre Dame rugby program over the last several years. He's also played rugby for Team Saskatchewan. The recipient of this award will be playing hockey in Ontario next season. Congratulations to this year's Male Athlete of the Year, Ethan Mattern. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Bob Baumüller. It is my pleasure and honor to present the Murray Renouf Maynard Leadership Award. The name Murray Renouf Maynard has a triple significance in the history of Notre Dame. It is in honor of Murray Maynard, nephew of Athol Murray and first chairman of the Board of Regents. The middle name, Chairman Maynard Renouf, refers to a lifelong friend of Athol Murray, Dr. Edward Renouf, who was a professor of chemistry at Johns Hopkins University. Finally, Murray Maynard was named after Athol Murray. Please note, the mind, body, spirit criteria set forth for the winner of this award is fully part of all 3 lives of the award's namesakes. This year's Murray Renouf Maynard Award winner is a great example of Para Murray's poem, The Notre Dame Man and Woman. She knows right from wrong, models and loves what Notre Dame stands for. She is honest and sound from center to circumference and true to the heart's core. She is a 3-year hound who is kind, mature, and take charge kind of person and a natural leader. She is one of our top students. She played for our female volleyball, basketball, and rugby teams, was part of the SRC, and a house leader in the female residence. She embodies the awareness of the spiritual. She demonstrates leadership through deeds and actions. She communicates effectively and inspires others. She also shows exemplary moral conduct, coupled with the courage to act according to her convictions. I'd like to congratulate Sydney Milam as this year's Murray Renouf Maynard Award winner.
And now the reason we're all here, I have the honor of introducing our graduates. Megan Diane Alexander. Megan is a 2-year hound from Prince George, BC. She will be attending the University of Victoria, taking social science. Angel Dawn Brass. Angel is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. She will be attending the University of Regina, pursuing a Bachelor of Arts with a major in English. Andrew Victor Buffalo. Andrew is a 3-year hound from Calgary, Alberta. His plans for next year are yet undecided. Zaiwen Carrie Kai. Carrie is a 3-year hound from Beijing, China. Carrie will be working next year. Shalene Marie Caldwell. Shalene is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. She will be attending Sask Polytech to become a dental assistant. Noah Alexander Klein. Noah is a 4-year hound from Ross Sharon, Texas. He will be attending the University of Calgary, taking a Bachelor of Commerce. Blue Paul Sear. Blue is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. He will be attending the University of Regina for a Bachelor of Education, majoring in English. Girolamo Jeremy D'Angelo. Jeremy is a 1-year hound from Vailmont, Laval, Quebec. He will be playing hockey and taking online classes next year. Alexander Flood Daves. Alex is a 3-year hound from Haley, Idaho. He will be attending the University of Denver, taking business. Alex has received academic scholarships. Dustin Chase Denomy. Dustin is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. Dustin is planning to study in trades and apprenticeship. Julian Graham Ducharme. Julian is a 4-year hound from Water Valley, Alberta. He will be taking the fall off and attending post-secondary in January 2021. Jocelyn Jean Dufay. Jocelyn is a 3-year hound from Forel, Vaud, Switzerland. Jocelyn will be playing professional hockey in Switzerland. Maya Lovering Dupereau. Maya is a 4-year hound from Wilcox, Saskatchewan. She will be attending the University of Regina, pursuing a Bachelor of Education. Benjamin Jack Edwards. Ben is a 3-year hound from Boise, Idaho. Ben's plans for next year have yet to be decided. Brett Kaylin Elmy. Brett is a 1-year hound from Kelvington, Saskatchewan. Brett will be attending the University of Saskatchewan, taking a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. Brett received an entrance scholarship. Joseph Graham Eplin. Joseph is a 2-year hound from Houston, Texas. Joseph is planning to play Junior A hockey next year. Ethan Corey Ernst. Ethan is a 4-year hound from Weyburn, Saskatchewan. He will be playing WHL hockey in Kelowna next year. Jaden Grant Forrester. Jaden is a 4-year hound from Rollo, Saskatchewan. He will be returning to Notre Dame to play Junior A hockey. Trayden Robert Funk. Trey is a 4-year hound from Redwood Meadows, Alberta. He will be playing for the Bonnyville Pontiacs in the AJHL next year. Jesse Aaron Garchinsky. Jesse is a 2-year hound from Bigger, Saskatchewan. Jesse will be attending the University of Waterloo for an Honors in Arts co-op program and playing for the men's basketball team. Jesse received academic scholarships. Karsten Quincy Hall Gural. Karsten is a 4-year hound from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Karsten is planning to play Junior A hockey next year. Kevin Jason Chris Gould. Kevin is a 3-year hound from Riverview, New Brunswick. He will be playing Junior A hockey. Aiden Timothy Gunn. Aiden is a 4-year hound from Tyner, Saskatchewan. Aiden will be taking a year off to train for lacrosse. Blake Timothy Hilterman. Blake is a 1-year hound from Calgary, Alberta. He will be taking a year off to play AAA hockey at home. Tressie Elizabeth Ireland. Tressie is a 2-year hound from Calgary, Alberta. Her plans for next year are undecided. Lashanti Chanel Marie Iron. Lashanti is a 2-year hound from Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. She will be attending North Dakota College and playing hockey next year. Brandon Alexander Kerr. Brandon is a 2-year hound from Victoria, BC. He will be playing Junior A hockey with Cowichan Capitals in the BCHL. Chewu Kim. Kim is a 3-year hound from Yonginshi, South Korea. She is planning to go to the University of Alberta, taking arts and design. Annalise Valerie King. Annie is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. Annie will be attending Dartmouth College, studying science and playing NCAA hockey. Annie received academic and athletic scholarships. Cass Leanne Kingston. Cass is a 3-year hound from Okotoks, Alberta. She will be playing junior hockey in Whitby, Ontario next year. Luke Thomas Kostick. Luke is a 2-year hound from the Paw, Manitoba. He is planning to enter the workforce before pursuing post-secondary education. Logan Tyler Kroyman. Logan is a 4-year hound from Deerfield Beach, Florida. He will be playing hockey next year. Vishan Phoenix Laliberty. Vishan is a 1-year hound from Onion Lake, Saskatchewan. He will be playing hockey in Slave Lake next year. William Levine. William is a 2-year hound from Blainville, Quebec. He will be playing junior hockey in BC. Ian Robert Lee. Ian is a 1-year hound from Ottawa, Ontario. He will be playing Junior A hockey for the Dauphin Kings next year. Aaliyah Kale Littlebear Rain. Aaliyah is a 3-year hound from Wasquechies, Alberta. She will be attending Dakota College at Bottineau, studying early childhood education. Jada Louise Livingston. Jada is a 3-year hound from Ladysmith, British Columbia. She will be attending the University of Alberta in nursing and hopefully playing U Sport hockey. Jada received academic and athletic scholarships. Mackenzie Stephen McKinnon. Kenzie is a 2-year hound from Sydney, Nova Scotia. He will be playing junior hockey and continuing his education. Ethan Michael Mattern. Ethan is a 4-year hound from Wilcox, Saskatchewan. Ethan will be playing Junior A hockey in Thunder Bay with the Cam River Fighting Walleye. Torrin Avery McCartney. Torrin is a 1-year hound from Calgary, Alberta. He will be taking a gap year to work before going to the Royal Military College. Rayanne Rose McKenzie. Rayanne is a 2-year hound from Hampton, New Brunswick. She will be playing hockey for the U19 Dallas Stars Elite in Dallas, Texas. Dylan Jade McNabb. Dylan is a 4-year hound from Punachai, Saskatchewan. His plans for next year are still undecided. Isaiah Patrick McNabb. Isaiah is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. He is planning on working next year. Sydney Lynn Milam. Sydney is a 3-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. She will be attending the University of Calgary in the Faculty of Science and playing U Sport basketball. She received academic and athletic scholarships. Jaden Patrick Maziendas. Jaden is a 4-year hound from Swan River, Manitoba. He will be playing hockey and taking online classes. Luke Roman Milamuk. Luke is a 4-year hound from Wilcox, Saskatchewan. He will be attending the University of Minnesota Duluth, playing NCAA hockey and taking exercise science. Luke has received athletic scholarships. Jack Joseph Nestor. Jack is a 4-year hound from Rollo, Saskatchewan. He will be attending the University of Regina, taking philosophy, politics, economics, and Indigenous studies. Jack received an entrance scholarship. Claire Louise Nimigers. Claire is a 4-year hound from White City, Saskatchewan. Claire will be attending St. Thomas University in General Arts and playing U Sport hockey. Claire received an entrance scholarship. Lane Clint Peterson. Lane is a 3-year hound from Kelvington, Saskatchewan. Lane will be taking a year off. Lual Akil Piak. Lual is a 4-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. He will be attending the University of Regina and playing U Sport basketball. Danil Polyanov. Danil is a 2-year hound from Givisiez, Switzerland. He plans to play hockey in the USPHL or go to University of Vienna next year. Cody John Quinney. Cody is a four-year hound from Wilcox, Saskatchewan. He will be playing Junior A hockey next year. Blake James Rasmussen. Blake is a three-year hound from Moosomin, Saskatchewan. He will be returning to Notre Dame to play Junior A hockey. Madison Patricia Rutz. Madison is a one-year hound from Red Deer, Alberta. She will be attending NAIT College in the Personal Fitness Training Program. Clifford Tyler Salisbury. Clifford is a two-year hound from the Paw, Manitoba. His plans for next year are undecided. Caitlin Marie Severson. Caitlin is a one-year hound from Calgary, Alberta. She will be attending St. Francis Xavier University for a Bachelor of Science. Nicholas Blair Smith. Nick is a four-year hound from Sherwood, Prince Edward Island. He will be playing Junior A hockey in the US for the USPHL Islanders in New Hampshire. Keaton Dawson Sorensen. Keaton is a four-year hound from Red Deer, Alberta. He will be returning to play WHL hockey in Red Deer. Courtney Lee Standing Ready. Courtney is a four-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. She will be attending the University of Regina and Reserve Force part-time. Andrew Johnson Stuckless. Andrew is a one-year hound from Conception Bay, Newfoundland. He will be playing Junior A hockey next year. Danil Ivan Cherepanov. Danil is a three-year hound from Villers, Switzerland. He plans to go to university next year. Brian Michael Thompson. Brian is a four-year hound from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. He will be playing WHL hockey in Lethbridge. Sadie Jesslyn Turning Robe. Sadie is a three-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. She will be attending university next year to study business. Zewan Wang. Wan is a three-year hound from Jiangsu, China. His plans for next year are undecided. Trayton Joel Cage Whitney. Trey is a three-year hound from Calgary, Alberta. He will continue to play hockey and plans to go to SAIT for EMT. James Christopher Weeb. James is a four-year hound from Portage la Prairie, Manitoba. He will be attending the University of Manitoba in agriculture. Riley James Woykin. Riley is a one-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. He will be attending the University of Regina and playing Junior A hockey. Kendra Karen Zahotsky. Kendra is a four-year hound from Dorantosh, Saskatchewan. She will be attending the University of Saskatchewan in a Bachelor of Science and Arts and playing youth sport hockey. Kendra received academic and athletic scholarships. Congratulations, graduates.
So I hope everyone in their living rooms back home got up, did a little stretch, hugged their graduate, and congratulate them. So congratulations, class of 2020. As we adjust, it's been difficult just putting all this together, but I think we're pulling it off. But it's without having students here and their families, it's really a challenge. Anyway, I want to thank all of the parents back home. My name's Rob Palmerine. I'm the president and director of education for Athol Murray College of Notre Dame. So thank you for adjusting this year, parents and grads. And we started this year, our 100th anniversary. We started strong. We were celebrating. We had a couple of great events. We had a parents' weekend in February, the Mandy Schwartz tournament in December. We were gearing up for our May-long weekend, Alla Padrita. And then the pandemic hit and we had to adjust. And I think we adjusted quite well, especially on the academic front, thanks to our tablet platform. And, you know, we're finishing strong, even though we're all over the place, but we're finishing strong, and that's the important thing for this celebration. So right now, we just, Principal McLean introduced all the graduates, and I'm going to talk about, I'm going to introduce two lists. One's the President's List, and the other is the Award of Great Distinction. So I'm going to start with the President's List. And normally, if they were on, we were in the gymnasium, we'd have them stand, but you can stand at home if you want. Anyway, the President's List are the students who have achieved above and beyond in academics, athletics, the spiritual, community life, whether it's boarding or local, those who live in the village and surrounding areas. And in general, their leadership on campus. So these were our top leaders. All members of the President's List must have achieved academic honor roll status, which means 80% average or above. All of their time at Notre Dame was taken into consideration. Even though it is called the President's List, the list is selected by the Notre Dame staff. So this year's President's List, in no particular order, so you don't have to stand, but if you want to at home, anyway. Jack Nestor, Jada Livingston, Karsten Gurel, Maya Dupro, Brendan Kerr, Kendra Zahotsky, Ethan Mattern, Annalise King, Blake Rasmussen, Sydney Milam, Jesse Garchinsky, Jaden Mossens, Sadie Turningrobe. Congratulations, the 2020 President's List members. So give them a hand at home. Our next list, we call it the Award of Distinction, very similar to the President's List. So these hounds also had to excel above the standard, athletically, spiritually, community leadership. They did not have to achieve honor roll status, but if some of them did, that's fine as well. And again, this list was also selected by the staff. So when I say the staff, it's usually the programming staff, teachers, coaches, house parents, and a few administrators. This year's members of the Award of Distinction, so you can congratulate them in your living room as well. Joseph Eplin, Aaliyah Little Bear Rain, Jocelyn Dufay, Trey Whitney, Aidan Gunn, Cody Quinney, Torin McCartney, Claire Nimigers, Dylan McNabb, Cass Kingston, Noah Klein, Ian Lee, Alex Daves, Ben Edwards, Brett Elmy, Trey Funk, Megan Alexander, Rayanne McKenzie. Congratulations, 2020 Award of Distinction recipients. Okay, we have a special award that we started in the 90s, President Martin Kenny, who this building, well, the other side is named after, Kenny Hall. We're in the Duncan McNeil Arena lobby, if you're wondering. Probably knew that. But the President's Cup is awarded to a male grade 12 student, a female grade student of the graduating class, who are considered top of the class, as selected by the staff. Both students are members of the President's List and have excelled and shown exceptional leadership in academics, athletics, the spiritual, cultural, community life, and they were just outstanding leaders. This year's female President's Cup recipient, I'm going to begin with a quote from her coach. The first thing that you notice is that this young lady is so genuine as a person. She has a high moral compass, a great character who does the right thing more than not. She knows what it takes to be a hound. She also comes from a family of hounds, and she has a lot of pride in that as well. Furthermore, the coach states that she's a 200-foot defenseman, comfortable in physically shutting down opponents, and just as comfortable to create and join in the offensive attack. She's a 3-year hound, an academic honor roll student, one of our 7 female house leaders this year. In addition to the dorm, she's a great leader on our campus, on the ice, and on the field. She's one of the captains of our midget AAA hockey team. She was a leader on Team BC, representing the province at the U18 Nationals, and also at the National Indigenous Games team. She was awarded the 2019 Premier's Award for Indigenous Youth Excellence in Sport. The recipient herself states, "I am proud to represent my school, my province, my culture, and my heritage. I want to be an inspiration for others." When you look at Jada, you see the characteristics of everything a hound should be. We look forward to watching her excel as she continues on to the University of Alberta next year. From Ladysmith, British Columbia, please help me to congratulate Jada Livingston, this year's Female President's Cup recipient. Congratulations. And I hope you're seeing her picture. I made that comment because I myself had some tech glitches, but we got that straightened out. The Male President's Cup recipient. And obviously, I should say there's a trophy. We have it in the lobby of Varsity Hall, and the names of the 2 recipients will be on there for eternity, and you'll also get your individual hardware on this one. The Male President's Cup recipient, I will open up with a quote from his house parent. "This young man is a Notre Dame man. He's kind to all, so generous with his time. His quiet demeanor attracts others to him, always knowing that they have a non-judgmental friend to hear them out. He was a wonderful mentor in our dorm, always finding time to assist the younger hounds. He would use his own study time to help others with their academic needs as an academic house leader. We knew that we could always count on him to help out whenever asked. We would often find him amongst a group of the boys in the dorm, smiling and enjoying their camaraderie. We could always count on him to do the right thing, even when no one was looking. His moral compass is steady and strong. We were blessed to have this young man as part of our leadership team this year, and it has been a pleasure to see him grow and prosper, even though at times he had to stretch himself. It was impressive. This young fella is an academic honor roll student, a 2-year hound, an academic house leader in Fred Hill Down Dormitory, a 2-time captain and MVP of our senior boys basketball team, a frequent altar server at our Lord's Day and school liturgies. His coach, Nav Burke, states, "Jesse has been a tremendous leader on and off the court. He has always been someone who the students look up to. He'll be studying and playing basketball at the University of Waterloo next year. From Bigger, Saskatchewan, please help me to congratulate Jesse Garchinsky as this year's male recipient of the President's Cup." Congratulations.
Steve Woodnian siga sun ki wetno nehio nianan. Guaya. Anite wita mo giko ka kisita tix na maxun. Miasen. Wayoga tautai gunawaw. Guanma. Kipmatsun wawa. Good afternoon. My name is Steve Wood, and I'm the leader and founder of Northern Cree. We'd like to give a big congratulations out to all of the graduates from the Notre Dame College. We'd also like to give a shout out to all of the staff and all of the alumni, past and present. We'd like to make a special mention of someone from the past who graduated from Notre Dame and was a part of the hockey culture there. A big shout out to the late Jason Goodstriker. Here's an honor song to represent your successes and to guide your footsteps in your path of life ahead. Ay hay Mr. He. Kumantum no, kasuin mo the Creator look after you. Ay hay.
I'm Troy McCartney, and this year I get to give the grad tree speech. In 1982, the graduating class planted a tree as their contribution to the college. They wanted to leave their mark and began the idea of Graduation Row, a row of trees, one for each year, extending from the Tower of God towards the statue of Our Lady, in front of Athol, and now across the road on the north side of Doc Siemens' off-ice skills facility. This first tree of Graduation Row was named Notre Dame, Our Lady. In 1982 to 2018, graduates followed their examples. They purchased trees and named some of them Spirit of Relationships, Spirit of Inspiration, Spirit of Unity, and spirit of integrity. This year, the class of 2020 will continue this tradition. Our tree was actually planted a few weeks ago, and we invite you to view it today. It is the one with all the ribbons on it, on the north side of Doc Seaman Off Ice facility. Our class chose to name this tree Spirit of Notre Dame, 100 years. At this time, we'd like to offer a blessing to the newly planted tree. Lord and Holy Creator of trees and forests, come and place your blessing of life upon this spruce tree. In the Garden of Eden, you planted both the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. May this tree, Spirit of Notre Dame, 100 years, be a tree of life who all pass by. Its branches be a living space for the birds of the air that shall nest there. May it give all who look upon it the gifts of life, renewing beauty. As the blessings of peace and life were the fruits of the tree of the cross of your Son, Jesus. May those same fruits flow from this spruce tree which we have planted. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Members of the Board of Regents, President Paul Marine, teachers and staff, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. I'm Annalise King, a four-year hound from Regina, Saskatchewan. It is both my honor and pleasure to offer this year's toast to Canada. It's difficult to encapsulate Canada in a 2-minute toast. My own immediate family spans through Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, the Northwest Territories, and Alberta. But the vastness of Canada geographically belies our sense of community, our sense of what Canada stands for. In 1960, former Prime Minister John Diefenbaker said, "I am a Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship in my own way, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong." How true are those words today in this moment in history? But how true today to realize how fragile those sentiments are and the constant need to defend and protect them. I'm very proud that both my mom and dad served for a time in the armed forces, and I'm especially proud that my 2 older brothers are currently serving. I'm proud that my grandpa, dad, uncle, and 2 great-uncles served or are still serving in the RCMP. I'm proud we are a family willing to stand up in defense of what Canada is. In 1975, in what would be Per's last speech, he told an audience at Regina Centre of the Arts that the greatness of Canada rested in children being raised to be individuals of self-determination and self-realization. He had created a community at Notre Dame where hounds would be nurtured and developed in mind, body, and soul, to become good citizens, to contribute to greatness. Per saw freedom in being educated, healthy, self-determined, and self-aware. To all my fellow graduates, whether you are a born Canadian or an international student, we have all traveled here to pursue our academic and athletic dreams. Wherever we may go and whatever we may go on to do, we will represent the greatness of Canada because we are hounds. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand and join me in toasting this great country of Canada, to Canada.
Hello, my name is Noah Klein, and I'm a 4-year hound from Houston, Texas. James Athol Murray devoted his entire life to children out the dust of a Great Depression. We, the class of 2020, are going through times unlike any other. A global pandemic and race riots across the nation that will change the world as we know it. However, these extraordinary times are not unlike the challenges Mother Edith and James Athol Murray faced when building the college. Working with Mother Edith, Per had a vision. He saw the potential of the youth and the potential of a small prairie village to become something greater than ourselves. God turned the dust of the Depression into the miracles of Notre Dame. Because of Per's vision, Notre Dame has left an indelible mark on my life and those of my classmates. With all the red and white nights that encourage us to use our voice, volunteer work that encourages us to use community involvement, and the dorm life that encourages us to use compromise and patience, it was so much more than just an education. It has changed me. It has changed all of us by fostering independence, strength, leadership, and many other traits that will help us move forward in the next phase of our life. Per was once asked, "Do you think that you're going to change the world with a little college?" He answered with, "I do." So I ask you all, do you, my second family, think you're going to change the world? My answer is I do. I want to raise my glass as we move forward in our lives. Some to college, some to work, some to play sports. One thing that will always keep us connected though is that we're all hounds. We're all family. And anything that we go through, we will struggle and emerge. Well, class of 2020, we made it. Please join me in raising your glasses to toast Notre Dame, Père, and Mother Edith. To Notre Dame, Père, and Mother Edith.
Hayakin Washday. My name is Sadie Turnero from the Chekakane Carridy Kettle First Nation, a resident of Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm a 3-year hound and proud to be part of the class of 2020. We are here today to honor the graduating hounds of this year's 2020 class. It has been a wonderful year, however, it has also been heartbreaking for many. Though there were bumps leading to success, we have officially made it through this hectic year. As hounds, we work together to support and help achieve greatness. In this case, we thank our Notre Dame staff. In a small village south of Regina, Wilcox has brought many students to create healthy and life-lasting friendships with the faces they see every day. To our teachers, we thank you for the time that was spent making sure we hounds were fully educated to meet our standards and be successful as a family. To our house parents, thank you for supporting us and being there as our own for our time living in the dorms. You have made a big impact on us students. To our coaches, we have made bonds from those in-class lessons to long road trips to celebrating the wins we bring back on Monday's assembly. You made us into the hounds we are today from the hardworking practices and intermission pep talks. We won't forget the ride we went on, and we will cherish the memories created from the hours we spent together. Notre Dame has changed many lives, including my own, from the supporting friends I have made and the bonds I have created with the staff through our campus. I know who I am today. I am forever thankful I got to be a part of this family, and I will cherish the accepting kindness that emanates from Notre Dame. You, the staff, have touched many of our hearts, and for that we are grateful. Hi, hi. Please join me in raising your glasses to toast the Notre Dame staff. To the Notre Dame staff!
My name is Jada Livingston, and I'm from Ladysmith, BC. I'm a 3-year hound that excitedly follows in the footsteps of my brother, class of 19, my dad, class of 93, and my uncle, class of 96. Being the first female from my family to attend Notre Dame means a lot to me, and I am forever grateful for my experience. I am both humbled and honored to give this toast to our parents on behalf of my class. My family has been involved with Notre Dame since before I was born. From the day I chose hockey as my sport, my parents knew I'd have to leave the small town on Vancouver Island to further pursue my hockey dreams. At the age of 14, I moved to Wilcox to attend grades 10 through 12. Many of us don't necessarily share the same reasons to why we came to Notre Dame or how we got here, but the one thing we all do share is the Notre Dame spirit that's been etched into all of us. As a group, most of us came to Notre Dame to try a sport. Many of us tried to make the best placements we could on our team, while others were there just for fun. Regardless of the sport, we all had similar mindsets of wanting to be the game changer. We wanted to be the one with the game-winning 3 from the point, the OT slap shot winner, or even the game-winning interception. But with all these great aspirations, there had to come hurdles. Regardless of those hurdles, we knew our parents always had our backs. Personally, my dad would make sure to phone me after most of my hockey games and tell me everything I did wrong. I would shrug off his comments until I realized maybe he was right, and maybe he did have a point. As much as it's hard to say, our parents were right, most of the time. I'm sure it was hard for some parents to let go of their parenting duties. And honestly, if your parents were somewhat like mine, they'd still try to parent you from 2 provinces away. So thank you for believing in our other students, the teachers, the host parents, and of course the faculty for being our guides and mentors. Our first day of Notre Dame is like many other firsts we have in our life. This was a nerve-wracking experience that I'm sure most of us didn't know what to expect. We came in here as strangers and grew into amazing friends that we will always have connections with. It's because of these great friendships that parents questioned why they weren't getting calls home, or if we'd forgotten about them, when really, we were busy making memories with our friends. When we did call home and tell you what we were doing, such as rodeo day flag fights, dugout swimming, and even spike ball tournaments, I'm sure you were pleased to hear we were busy, but questioned some of the things we were doing. Some of us came to Notre Dame and didn't know what a vacuum cleaner was, while others had never lived with roommates before. As parents, you trusted that Notre Dame would teach us how to learn from our mistakes and grow from them. Many of us came here and made some big mistakes. At times, we can get bored and make impulse decisions that result in big consequences. At times, this can be hard, but collectively, we knew our parents or guardians would always keep on loving us. Our parents have given us a blessing by sending us to Notre Dame. I thank you for taking the courage and wisdom to send your kids away from home, even with all your second guessing. I'm sure it wasn't easy to send us away, but look where we are now, sitting in front of you, graduating from one of the most prestigious high schools in Canada. You may have missed some of the big events that happened in high school, but that doesn't make you any less of a parent than you are. Thank you for giving us the courage to fight through the homesickness and loneliness the school can sometimes carry with it. Thank you for listening to our 3 a.m. calls home because we were homesick, or the calls home before break because we couldn't wait to see you again. Thank you to our parents for cooking us the whole-made food, so we got a break from varsity, and especially for understanding why we need a break from hard-boiled eggs and tater tots. Thank you for giving us the space to learn how to be independent and how to grow into the young, mature, independent people we are today. Thank you for all your sacrifices you had to make for us to get where we are today. A simple thank you won't do justice to how much we appreciate our parents. The sacrifices, worries, emotions, and efforts don't go unnoticed, and we will forever be grateful for you giving us the opportunity to attend Notre Dame. Lastly, thank you for giving us the privilege to call ourselves Hounds, to be a part of the class of 2020 and alumni to this school. Please join me in raising our glasses to toast our parents. To the parents.
It is an honor and my pleasure to toast the graduates of 2020 and the 100th year of Notre Dame. My name is Dylan Livingston, and I am Jada's father, and I graduated from Notre Dame back in 1993. My brother is an alumnus, and my son Hunter graduated from Notre Dame a year ago, in which I can say was one of my proudest moments as a father. I am fortunate now to get to experience this joy a second time with my daughter and all of her friends. The world today is a lot different than that of a year ago. However, in true Notre Dame fashion, we struggle and emerge, and we still get a great opportunity to celebrate and acknowledge the hard work you've all put forward. Just like your first week at Notre Dame was tough on you at school, it was also very tough for us as parents at home. We're not used to having any dishes in the sink or laundry on the floor, and we missed having you guys around. We would try and give advice and parent from afar, but we were also proud to listen to how you figured out things on your own. We watched and cheered on live stream. We met you at tournaments or at the school. At each visit, we noticed something a bit different. You were not the same person we dropped off. You were better. You were more confident, more independent, more resilient, and more mature. We dropped you off as young teenagers, and we watched you grow as the young women and men you are today. Tomorrow is another new beginning, whether it's going to college or university, getting a job, traveling, or playing sports. Just like the first day when we dropped you off at Notre Dame, there'll be that unknown for what is next. I can tell you this, you are ready. And we will also be ready as parents. We were asked by Notre Dame staff to trust them, and they did not disappoint. We know you all have the tools to meet new friends, balance school and sport, be leaders, and know how to genuinely be good people. As parents, we will celebrate your wins and feel the same pain with your losses. We will still parent you even when you feel like no parenting is needed. We do this because we care and because it's in our DNA. As parents, we did not know what it meant to worry, and we did not have a true sense of pride until we had children of our own. You may not understand what this means now, but if you're fortunate to have a family of your own, you'll soon understand. Today, I speak on behalf of all parents and would like to wish the graduates the best in the next phase of life. Do not forget your little school or your classmates when you leave. Remember the teachings of Father Athol Murray and live the life of a Notre Dame man and woman. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. raise your glasses, and help me toast this amazing class of 2020. Cheers to you all, and congratulations.
Good afternoon, alumni, parents, friends of Notre Dame, and the class of 2020. For any of you I have not met yet, my name is Stephen Buffalo, class of 1990, and the Notre Dame National Alumni Association president. This year, we celebrate an extraordinary milestone during these extraordinary times. 100 years of Notre Dame. Although we wish we all could come together today, it is a great honor we announce virtually the introduction of the class of 2020 into our National Alumni Association. You are now part of a vast network of over 10,000 hounds around the world, and as a fellow alumni, we look forward to collaborating with you on ways we can ensure that the next 100 years of Notre Dame is as memorable as the last. Lector Emergo, Hans.
You know, there is an advantage of this virtual graduation because I know a bunch of you are sitting in your living room with a beer or a glass of wine. So good on you. I don't have one here, but anyway, this is the President's toast to the graduates, the class of 2020. I usually address them every second Wednesday as part of our assemblies, and my themes throughout the year have been basically the things that are on the Notre Dame campus. I speak to them. Graduates, today, congratulations on accomplishing your mission as students under some rather one-off adversarial conditions. As you begin your next phase of the exciting adventure called life, let me perhaps share with you one phrase that can be interpreted as a proposal or an invitation, but most of all, I hope it's received as a message of wisdom. When you view and listen to all the media that bombards us on a daily basis, whether it's through social media, the TV, or the airwaves, one cannot sometimes get a bit discouraged, as it seems that the dominant stories that are shared are simply negative and dark. Hence, the only response to this type of darkness is to be light. To be light means to shine when the rest of the world casts shadows. It means to bring sunshine when those around you only want to create storms. It means to bring hope when those around you cast gloom and despair. It means to bring joy to others who perhaps cannot find their way out of sadness. The world you are already in is a beauty. It is a treasure chest just waiting to be unpacked. However, it is a world where the lid of the chest can snap back on your fingers, inflicting pain and injury. Hence, hounds, you need to keep your guard up. To be light in the darkness requires courage. In fact, it requires all of the virtues that are articulated in the Notre Dame Man and Woman poem. Life's great adventure is not meant to be lived alone, and hence, if you want to be light, you must rely on a few foundational realities. First reality, your family. Your family is your first refuge. And thanks Dylan, my former student, for that toast from the parents. It moved my heart. Whether you want to realize it or not, or whether your parents want to realize it or not, you cannot resign from your family, and they cannot resign from you. It is an anthropological impossibility. It is the place where they take you back, even if you have gone off on a wayward trail for a time. Second, the second foundational reality is your faith. Faith is not something hocus pocus. It is real. It is a belief that there is a God and that this God loves you. has a plan for you and wants to grace you to live out that plan. Faith is about growing in a relationship with this personal God. I believe Father Athol Murray's life work, this school, Notre Dame College, was the fruit of his supernatural faith. If we dig deeper, we know that Athol Murray's faith grew through his prayer life, his offering of the daily Mass, his devotion to Scripture, his devotion to his hounds, but also through the support of his friends. And friends is the last foundational reality that I will share. To be light for others, whether it is at your future workplace, with your new teammates, or with your family, regardless of where you go, you will need friends. You don't really need many, perhaps even just one, but you will need them. Why? As was discovered over this long COVID timeout, humans are social creatures. We are meant to be with each other. There is an undeniable need to share life with our fellow images of God. We are meant to support each other and lift each other up. On the flip side, there's also the reality that we need others to support us and lift us up. In a sense, just as we need to be light for others, we need others to be light for us. So keep your friends and be a friend. Hounds, it's been a pleasure. To the class of 2020, stay close to your friends, your family, your faith, most importantly, your God. Be light, Lector and Emergo. To the class of 2020. Congratulations. Okay. I guess I'm going to be the filler here. They're going to load 2 more videos. Okay. So don't worry, our valedictorian and our graduate pledge. And graduate pledge, Alex is coming up, and then followed by Jack with the valedictorian. So, little break here. And I believe this, the graduation video will be, you can play it back. Just for those who are in the neighborhood, we're going to have a parade at 5 o'clock down Main Street for the local graduates. So I see they got the street decorated, which is kind of nice. I think we have a special vice principal driving the fire truck. So
rising sun hits the sky.
The only parish in all Saskatchewan dedicated to Augustine is the parish of Athol Murray.
Every time a living color, heaven knows the will discover a story in the making, at the start of something later than we could uncover, holding on to all this wonder, a story in the making, the world is ours for the taking, a story in the making, the world is ours for the taking.
Good morning. Weather. Today as hounds, we stand before God, our families, and Notre Dame to pledge our loyalty. To God, we express our belief in the primacy of the spiritual. To our families, we express our gratitude for the foundation of our being. To Notre Dame, we commit to the ideals, to the search for excellence, to be true men and women of Notre Dame, as directed by Père when he scribed the Notre Dame man and woman. The world today is looking for men and women who are not for sale, who are honest, sound from center to circumference, true to the heart's core, with conscience as steady as needle to the pole. who will stand for the right, the heavens totter and the earth reels, who can tell the truth and look the world right in the eye, who neither flag nor flinch, who have courage without shouting it, and in whom the courage of everlasting life runs still, deep, and strong, who know their message and tell it, who know their place and fill it, who know their business and attend to it, who will not lie, shrink, or dodge, who are not too lazy to work, nor too proud to be poor, who are willing to eat what they have earned and wear what they have paid for, who are not ashamed to say no with emphasis. God is looking for them. He wants those who can unite together around a common faith, join hands in a common task, who have come for the kingdom for such a time as this. God, give us such as them. Not only will they be better prepared to fulfill their duty as citizens, they should make better friends, better husbands, better fathers, better wives, better mothers, because free people do. And in short, they will be better prepared to live. And when their hour comes, they will know better how to die, because free people do. Today, we leave Notre Dame as an alumni. We pledge to uphold our commitment to Athol Mary College of Notre Dame, to dream our dreams greatly, and to struggle and emerge. Thank you.
Welcome Chairman Mo Bundon, President Rob Palmerine, friends, family, and of course, fellow graduates. It is a tremendous honor to be speaking to you all today as the valedictorian for the class of 2020. And although I am alone on this podium, I couldn't have made it to this point without the unconditional love and support of my friends and family. The staff at Notre Dame, who over the last 4 years have had a profound impact on my life. My classmates, teammates, and peers who constantly encourage me and provide a much needed support system. And most importantly, my friend Nico. Without Nico's encouragement and positivity throughout our shared time, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Like a child complaining to their parent about not having the same toy as their friend, I too have made these same complaints about Notre Dame, wishing for new facilities that I see in other schools. Sometimes, as was the case with me, the child does not realize the value of what they possess until they see the bigger picture. Anyone that has ever been a part of any extracurricular activity at Notre Dame is aware of the extensive travel required. This year, my basketball season took me from one end of the country to another in a span of just 5 months. I had the opportunity to visit private and public schools alike and was truly shocked at the facilities some of these schools had. My first inclination upon seeing these high-tech and I'm sure expensive facilities was to vent my frustrations that Notre Dame did not have the same things. That wasn't until I realized what these other schools were lacking. One school in particular that we played at had only been established in 1986, more than half a century after the arrival of Perry and Wilcox. The school is no doubt a great choice for students in search of a high-class education, but because of its relative novelty, it lacked something that I could not identify until only a few weeks ago. What was missing is what Richard Hoggart called culture. This is not to say that this school lacked a culture, but rather that in its infancy, it had not acquired the traditions and rituals that have survived 100 years at the Athol Mary College of Notre Dame. Such traditions include our positive role in the community through Hunts for Humanity, Student Representative Council, and Works of Mercy. A tradition of sportsmanship, whether that be on the ice, on the court, on the field, or in perhaps overly competitive games of Kahoot. A tradition of being purposeful leaders, not only on campus, but also on road trips, and now in the real world for both me and my fellow graduates. Another component of our Notre Dame culture includes our vibrant habits and rituals. Among them, the recitation of our prayer and victory march, following athletic competition and formal events, and other less exciting rituals, such as assisting at varsity and with the maintenance crew. Our Notre Dame culture, though beautiful, is not perfect. But as I learned through endless nights of reading Franz Boas from my history papers, no culture ever is. Culture, Boas believed, is merely an example of what a social group can do with human nature. Yet to those of us within that social group, it is so much more. Notre Dame culture is in some ways our very existence. As we, the class of 2020, move on and depart from the school, we will become doctors, lawyers, athletes, and so much more. We will always maintain the culture of Hounds. As Hounds, we must recognize that culture is never static, that although we have kept many of our traditions alive, we have dropped some and added others. The Notre Dame that I know is likely much different than the Notre Dame that an alumni from even a few years ago would be familiar with. It likely does not come as a shock to anyone that the campus in 1920 varied greatly in appearance than the campus of 2020. Although we have renovated some buildings and the Fujitsus have become a part of our daily life, many of the original buildings in the Notre Dame way of life exist. These buildings are the manifestation of our unique and beautiful culture. Notre Dame has begun to acquire a similar modernity of which I saw in schools across the country. This has been and will continue to be both a painful and a rewarding process. We can take solace in the fact that while other schools, and perhaps someday our own, will have facilities worth millions, we have a culture and an identity that is priceless. The fact of the matter is that these high-tech facilities will someday be replaced by newer ones, and the schools we once thought modern will become archaic. Culture, and more specifically our culture here at Notre Dame, will never be replaced. The traditions that we, the class of 2020, have learned as Hounds have equipped us with the skills to bring our culture and values into the world. A world that is in need of a culture that breeds leaders, and we, the class of 2020, are those leaders. Congratulations, Hounds.
Thanks, Jack. And if we were in the gymnasium in Kenny Hall, you'd be getting a standing ovation from your peers in the crowd, so a job well done. So I just want, as we finalize things here, I want to thank everyone again for adjusting to our virtual grad. Wasn't our first choice, but obviously with graduates from all over the world and with the COVID-19 restrictions, we made the adjustments necessary. So again, Notre Dame's alive and well. It's going to be alive and well for another 100 years. Stay in touch with us. Graduates, you're always welcome back. Hopefully we can see you Alla Padrita weekend or May long weekend next year, because we would like to celebrate with you together. So right now that's probably the number one weekend we're looking at, to get as many of you back here as possible for a special celebration for the class of 2020, even though it'll be in 2021. Anyway, Godspeed. Actually, I'm going to give you one last piece of homework. The Prayer and Victory March. Normally, after the end of our banquet, we'd have our meal finished, our toast would be finished, and we'd gather up on the stage, and the graduates arm in arm, a few tears in your eyes, and we'd sing the Prayer and Victory March. So let's see if you can pull it off in your living rooms. Anyway, Luctor et Emergo. Thank you.